What's up, everyone? We are back with another week of gaming sessions. And yeah, this week it's another week. A lot more games that I played, a lot more games that are released. There's way too many for me to keep up with. I'm already playing Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth. I have Persona 3 Reload on the docket. I also have Last Epoch, which is a game that I'll be talking about more this month. And next week I will talk about it on the show. A lot of games, a lot of insanely fun games that not everyone can play. So there's a game for everyone if you're looking for something to try out. But a game that I'm regularly still playing is Path of Exile. And again, most of that is just learning the game and finding new ways to fix my build. It's so much fun. I don't know if I can even put it down. And this week, that drive to play PoE just got stronger with Zizaran's Misery Gauntlet. So if you don't know what the Misery Gauntlet is, it's a custom league where players go through challenges that are set up by Zizaran and GGG. It could be very, very difficult. It's a hardcore SSF, so there's no trading, there's none of that. Everything has to be found, has to be farmed, and it's gonna be a pretty grind. But let's get into the details of this gauntlet. So this is the first time I'm really focused on a race for PoE. I know this is part of the community and they love this stuff, and it's been going on for years, and the gauntlet is a event that a lot of players look forward to. So upon joining the gauntlet, you can level up and receive rewards when hitting certain goals. So for at level 50, you'll get a raffle to a gift card, maybe a raffle for a keyboard, a graphics card, wherever the case may be. There's also microtransactions through the cosmetic store that GGG is providing, and that will also be raffled when you hit a certain level, like level 50, level 60. But of course, you gotta add some challenge to those goals, right? Especially when this game has been out for so long and so many people know how to get through the campaign. Zizaran and GG just had to make it harder. So there are modifiers that benefit the monsters more than anything. That's just applied to this league. So zone modifiers, they're gonna be buffed up with monsters taking 30% less damage, 30% increased damage. So that's just gonna be the norm for every zone. Increased damage and less damage taken for monsters. And that's just the two main modifiers. So there will be attack speed, additional projectiles, extra chaos damage. So there's a lot more than just buffing up the damage and the defense of the monster. And that's just going through the campaign. So when you get to the white maps, it's a little easier, but it's still punishing compared to the regular leagues. But when you get into the yellow maps, that's when things start to ramp. Monsters now take 40% less damage and 60% increased damage for yellow maps. And yeah, and that keeps ramping up for red maps. So 50% less damage and 40% increased damage for monsters. So it is kind of insane. And it's so fun to watch these guys play, especially veterans that know a lot of the tips and tricks that would get you to where you need to be within your build. And of course, the main goal of this whole gauntlet is to beat the Uber boss. And those are tied to challenges also. And of course, there is a prize pool of 25,000, I think. That will depend on how much donations they get throughout the gauntlet. So if you want like the full details of what the gauntlet has to offer and what the modifiers are, what the prize pool is, just go onto Zizaran's YouTube channel or even the website he's built here. They'll explain a lot of the details of the gauntlet and the prize pool and the prizes. So yeah, check that out when you need the info. It's been so fun watching these vets, or even like these new Diablo 4 refugees play the Gauntlet. It's such a stark difference. I mean, obviously, because a veteran would have like thousands of hours, and the newcomer that I've been watching is DM, Darth Microtransaction, and he's just been awesome for a lot of good reasons. He's so positive, he's energetic. There's a lot to like about him and his streams. And lately, I think for the past month or two, he's been playing a lot of PoE. He's really the driving force of me coming back to PoE. The way he's learning the game, it's very different from how I learned the game. He's not following any guide really. He's just playing the game. And honestly, that's how you should experience the Path of Exile. Just start it up, play the game. If you enjoy it, you'll start learning, and that will propel you to learn more about the game. I would say that he does have some help with Twitch chat, and anything that he has a question for, he just asks Twitch chat. They will somewhat give him an idea of what to do. That's really how I want to learn. Just having a lot of questions about the systems and asking a friend about it, or someone who has more knowledge. That sticks more to me than just looking up a guide or looking up a certain way to farm. That doesn't really stick with me. Just watching DM play Path of Exile is so refreshing compared to all these other guys that are veteran of the game. And I know there are newer players that are just insane about the game. I know Ben won a challenge or a gauntlet or something like that. He won something, and he was pretty new to the game too. I think he started during the pandemic, so he's still pretty new to the game, even though he's like crushing everything. And really, just watching the Gauntlet taught me a lot. Just watching these guys. Like for Ben, yesterday I saw him do Expedition. I know that there are nodes on the map where you place bombs to blow them up to get your loot, but that's pretty much my extent with Expedition. And then him doing the, I don't know what it is. It's like tomes or something. You go into a map that's filled with nodes of the Expedition. I forgot what it's called, but that really taught me a way to farm currency in SSF, and that's been hindering me from playing SSF because all my currency has been used up because I'm trying to craft a perfect bow or something that resembles a good weapon. But the best part about this gauntlet for me is Zizaran and Steel Mage's shoutcasting. Watching them going through all these streamers, seeing their progress through the gauntlet, their shoutcasting is so fluid, it's natural, it doesn't feel forced. And even though they have a two-man team, they do a pretty good job at production stuff. They could do a little better, but the production is pretty good. I know they're doing it with pretty limited resources. They don't have like a switcher or anything like that, so it's fun seeing them fumble through the production stuff, but it's also refreshing. I feel like production makes it feel like you have to be on point of every single scene or section, but they make it feel so natural. Seeing Steel Mage fumble through that production stuff, it's funny. But those shoutcasters are really what brings me into talking about this. It brought me to watch other streamers. It brought me to listen and kind of learn more about the game in a different way, because a lot of people have different ways of farming an item or getting a certain weapon or jewel, right? Watching people play a game this complex really makes you want to be more proficient about the game. Seeing Steel Mage and Zizaran talk about DM's progress through it is actually so fucking funny. He's not the best at PoE because he's so new at it. You can see Steel's face when he does the first boss there. He dies. DM does. Their reaction is hilarious. And usually I don't think that you get that from a experienced veteran of the game. Usually they understand where to dodge, what mechanic the boss is doing, and where to stand. This gauntlet was such a hit for me, just in terms of engagement, getting excited of PoE 2 really, because that's right around the corner in June here. But yeah, the gauntlet really opened my eyes to a lot of streamers and just the way they approach the game. There's a lot of this game that I don't understand. Doing events like this will better my understanding of the game. But yeah, I hope this gauntlet will come back next year. I think they do this every year, once a year or twice a year. Hopefully can join something a little easier than the hardest gauntlet ever made, because I feel like I can stick with like the middle tier guys. At least I haven't done a hardcore character in a long time, just because I don't like the feeling of dying and starting all over again. But there's something enticing of PoE and how we build characters. So if you want to participate in the Misery Gauntlet for this league, you can do so right now. You don't have that much time. I believe there's only a week. So it started on February 2nd. So I believe it's going to be ending on the 9th. Again, the leveling challenges are available to anyone, but they're raffles. They're not full guarantee prizes. Yeah, I mean, dude, there's just so much in this gauntlet. Zizaran and GGG and everyone that's involved with this whole event just does an amazing job. Zizaran is like the main community guy. I believe he's the main community guy. He worked with all content creators. He worked with the development team. So he's one of the best in the community right now. Hopefully this gauntlet event will come back a little sooner than usual, and I can participate into it. And that will be it for gaming sessions this week. If you guys like what I've been talking about with game sessions, please sub. And if you want to watch some of my live stuff, you also sub on this YouTube channel, or follow me on Twitch, where I am beating up some Yakuza in Hawaii. I'll see you guys on the next episode of Gaming Session.